Vele umsebenzi awukhona. Nani fanele uziqeshe wena ngokwakho because umsebenzi awukho. Noma ungayaphi awukho umsebenzi. So siyaziphangelela siyawuzama thina ngokwethu. Uqala kwami utata ubhoda wayondithatha eMthatha because ndingasaphangeli ndandihleli nje. Because xa ndingaphangeli phaya ndizawuenda apha ndisenza into ezorongo. Ndingahlali nje ndingaqhubeki kuye because naye ngoku wayengasaphangeli uqala kwam because ndiqale uthengisa mna ngo-2002. Nyhani ke ndaqhubeleka ke ndathengisa ke.
Urhulumente yena akayithandi le ngxaki yemali esiswa ngemilenze. Njengomzekelo apha ngoku bekuthiwa kuzawufaka umbane apha eMankosi. Qha le mali xa siyiva ikhutshiwe ngurhulumente isemaphepheni. Kodwa ayizi ngoku kubantu baphi bakuMankosi. Le mali ngoku asiyazi ibheka phi. Ibe ke thina singakwazi ukuthetha sinamntu ozawusitetelela athi iphi le mali asinaloya okanye umuntu ungumthetheli.
Thina apha kuMankosi asina-toilet, toilet apha ehlathini.
Abantu balapha kuMankosi abanatransport indawo qha. Ikhona nje ibhasi ehamba ekuseni. Uba umuntu uyagula awuyayikho enye emveni koko. Umuntu ugula nje uyawufela phaa endlini. Uyaqonda? Noonoteksi nabo bayalwa uba mayibe yenye ibhasi. Kutheni le nto injalo izawuba yenye abantu abahlala apha bazawuthini emveni koko? Bazawuhamba ngantoni? Kufuneka abantu babe nendawo. Isibhedlela singapha 28 or 30 kilometers ukusuka kule ndawo. 30 kilometers ukusuka kule isibhedlela. Kufuneka ke ngoku umntu ahamba abheke esibhedlela uzawuhamba ngani. Into yokuqala i-AIDS iyawuphela mhla wafa. Even the TB, sometimes the TB inyangeka ukolekta SDR. Strong, ine-resistance. Ngoku awuyifumani imali, uzoyiphatha kanjani? Uzayidla ngemali evelayo. Ngoba i-AIDS yona yiyona nto egugusayo ngoku i-AIDS ikhona. Usijongile xa imali kaloku government ngeke bazuyizisa kuthi nathi mani ihamba ngeli-channel. Zizinto ezinjalo ke zisikhalaza ngazo uba urhulumente yena uyazenza izinto agqibe phaa phezulu azenze izinto zize kule leveli esikuyo azifiki kule ndawo sikuyo ii-services okanye mhlawumbi ngamanye amaxesha iinkonzo zikarhulumente azifiki ngokupheleleyo kule ndawo esikuyo. Yeyiphi asiyazi.
Utatam wandixelela into yoba xa uhleli nabantu kufuneka usoloko uhlekile, yabo. So yinto eyenza abantu babeze qho apho ukhoyo, yabo. But okwangoku because ibhizinesi yami isencinci isakhula. Ndayithanda. It's just sisithi qha yabo. Yena ke ubhesi shop leya yakhe, so ayifani naleya yamhlakwa inhlalo nje lapha ingumahluko ayifani naleya yakhe.
I'm here purely because I've sort of pensioned myself. It is a retirement because we are old already, but still working. I'm used to running businesses, and I've always been like in charge of businesses. And I came down because I had money in the shop and it wasn't working well. So I came down purely to get it straight and to try and get my money back. They come and buy bags of mealie meal, bags of flour, sugar, dresses and blankets and beds and cupboards and cool drinks. Whatever is needed in that home for their monthly shopping. And children with their sweets. You need lots of capital to run a shop like this because you've got to be prepared to carry accounts. If you don't carry accounts, you don't do business in the lollies. It's a very difficult business because these people don't have the responsibility. If they've got an account and they don't want to pay you this month, they just don't think anything of it not to pay you and to do something else with their money. Can't put interest on because then they get upset. I'm bankrolling them. I'm bankrolling really a community.
I grew up in Western civilization, in city and so on, and then I had the privilege to be able to come to an area in South Africa which is at the moment claimed to be the poorest area. I've been living here now for 9 years. It's had a big impact on me, the two different lives, and it's actually opened my eyes in many ways of wrongs that is going on in Western civilization. Things that's not making sense to me anymore through being here. That's why I see it as a privilege to have ended up here. So in 2002, me and a friend Johan started Ndumbi Backpackers, and we didn't know where that was going to go, but I moved here because of that. He started telling me, I want to try and do something to basically help the people here and make them aware of what they got, what their rights are, and of the tourism potential. There were so many people that came here that wanted to take. American investors, even the government, threatening the local people in that sense. What's happening in the world today is the person with the most money can come and take it. But what about the people that's been living here? And it belongs to them, first of all. If only rich people are going to take it, what's going to happen? All these people will be slaves. Who is walking away with the most money? How is the people living here going to benefit from that? The main thing is our microfinance program, which gives small interest-free loans to certain groups in the community. The people have to write a small business plan, but first they have to go through a 2-day business skills training workshop, and we further advise them if they have problems in the business, and so we can see how it's going. So we basically use Transcape as a vehicle to get funding and to do the necessary training in the community and to get the community involved and to participate. And then in the end, Transcape will withdraw and it will be 100% community owned. We've got one Earth, we're one huge community. Why should some people have so much and others nothing? It just doesn't make sense.
Ngenxa kunethi ngoku ndiyalima umbona phaa namathanga neembotyi. Qha ke imvula inqabile. Aba banintsanga abantu abafuna ukulima bakunqena. Kuyasetyenzwa lokhu phaa funeka uqale uhombe umhlaba utyale then unkcenkceshele. So kuyasetyenzwa awuhlali xa ulima awuhlali nje. Funeka uvuke ekuseni unkcenkceshele uphinde naleyithi xa ulala uphinde unkcenkceshele. Ingxaki ndinabantwana abaninzi ne ndinabantwana basekhafuna ndibasapotile, so andikwazi uthenga ikhaphetshu yonke imihla. So yile nto ndiqonda uba mandilime ukwenzela into yobana ngenye imini ndingayothenga kukhiwa apha egadini. Itswele endinalo leli ndithengisayo ne, so funeka lingenisa imali lona. So eli lizawuphekwa phaa ekhitshini funeka likhiwe phaa egadini. Transcape njengoba enemali abolekisa ngayo, so ke nam ke ndaye ndayenza application xa ndisiva ukuthi ubolekisa ikhona imali ebolekisayo emdumbi. So ndenza application ke nam ndayisa ke emdumbi, then yabuya ke isithi funeka ndiye ndiyokwenza i-interview. Ndaya kwi-interview, so kwafumaniseka uba ngona nabathi bazandinika imali, but imali abazawunika yona izawuba yi-2,000, abakwazi udlula ngapha kwi-2,000. So ke bandinika ke lo 2,000 and ke babe befuna ukwazi into yobana yinto le ndifuna ukuyenza ngale mali, because besele ndiqhubeleka mna nebhizinesi yam. Ndabaxelela ke mna uba ndifuna uthengisa ke konana njengoba sendithengisa izinto ezincinci, iswekire nee-chips neentoni. So ndifuna ukufakela ke yonana inyama, ndithengise nenyama, ndenze nje ibe indawo yebraya. So ke bathi i-right ke bazondinika ke then nyhani ke bandinika ke ngona 2,000 nyhani ke ndiyaqhubeleka ke ngona Transcape ndayibhatala imali yakhe ndayigqiba andinatyala kuye andinatyala laa mntu ndiqhubeleka nje nebhizinesi yam kakuhle ngoku. Ndisebenza usukela ekuseni ngo-5 uyotsho ngo-9 ngo-9 ndiyavala, but sometimes xa kubhizi ndiye ndityebise because akuvumelekanga uba ndivule kude kubethe o-11, but xa kubhizi kuyanyanzeleka ndivule because abantu bayathenga and ibhizinesi iyahamba. So xa ndivala konana ndilahlekwa yimali eninzi. Apha kaloku sisebenza ngo-catch ne because ke nyhani ke imatshini azikho bakhwela apha bayidolophini bawudrowa imali edolophini babuye bathenge. So inkoliso yabo ke ndibanika ngetyala apha encwadini ngeli xesha ikoti ngekafiki ndibanika apha etyaleni then ngepeyi ke ngoku umntu azazobhatala imali yam. Abanye ke babhatala abanye ababhatali, so ibhizinesi injalo. Once a month ndiyodiphozitha hamba xa vele sikwento ndihambe ndiyodiphozitha imali okanye mhlawumbi. So xa bebona mna ndimnyama vele bayandazi andinamali because le ndithengisa ngayo incinci, so ngayo lapha koma-2,000 3,000, so incinci gqithi. So bacinga yena ubhesi unemali because ndizawufuna umntu owongela lo basasigqibe ukwenza ufuna phaa kuyo. Okay. Bendizawuthenga mna phaa kuwo then xa ndibona sowongela ndithi ke siyabuyisa ndoda.
Ushawule ndibambe mahala wona mafama.
Omnye xa uyoyifuna imali yakho le bephile utywala sometimes ufuna undibetha okanye uyandithuka uyandixela ndiphakamele into ezinjalo, but ke ndinyamezele because ke ndenza ibhizinesi. Eyona nto yayibangele into yobana ndiqhubeleke ndenze le business is because ndinopheni. Ndikufumanisa into yobana kuba nzima naxa kufuneka ebhatalweni nasesikolweni xa sozazofunda kuphela, but okwangoku urayithi ahlale phaa edolophini. Xa imdala ke ngoku uzawukhetha ubone uba makahlala apha okanye ahlale phayana, ichoice yabe yakhe. Apha ezilalini asibinayo i-insurance. Uyakha nje umntu indlu yakhe ahlale kuyo, then uba ngaba yonakele okanye iphaphatheke uzawuphinda yenze ngokwakhe, asibhatali, asinazo i-insurances. Ndicinga ndiseyifu mna, akho mntu unosuke nje aze apha azothatha imali apha. Like xa ndilapha ndizifilisha ndisafe and ndi-free, andike ndicinga into yoba xa kusiliwa ngaphaya bangeza nakweli cala because like i-counter nantsa ne. So once utsibe ngapha kwe-counter that means uze wrong, so ndine-right yokwenza nantoni na kuwo because icala labo leli lingaphaya and nalapha ndibiyile, so I don't feel ndiziva ndisafe. Hayi zange ndikhe ndibelwe mna oko nje ndathi ndazihlalela apha zange ndibelwe, zange ndigqekezelwe, ndihleli nje kamnandi. Isesemva gqithi kwicala lobundlobongela ngoko abantu balapha bayaphatheka though ke uye ufumanise uba le genge isencinci iyathanda uxabana apha eshibhini mhlawumbi ufumaniseke into yoba bathe xa bephuma bahlabana ke yona apha ngaphandle but ayonto yenzeka qho leyo yinto ehlalahlala yenzeke ubundlobongela bona abukabikho kangako apha. Kulaa ntibana ke xa uthengisa yabo usoloko ulindele nantoni mhlawumbi bangafika ootsotsi bezoba so andingetsho uba abanawufika basenofika basenongafiki kuyaxhomekeka but ixesha elinintsi andiqondi uba bangafika because abantu bebayo benza zonke izinto baxhomisayo baba ne-connection ngokomnye umntu walapha so uye ayazi mhlawumbi imeko yalapha uba kunje ngoku so utata lo walapha uphangela kwa-defence force so bayayazi into yobana xa umntu enoza apha mhlawumbi angangabuya usenofela apha ngaphakathi because usenoba nesibhamu uyayibona ngosisi yebo so akululanga into yobana umntu avela asuke phaa azoba apha because baboyika yena. Ndinaye umntu oncedisa apha endlini usebenza apha ngenxa yoba umsebenzi uye wamninzi gqithi so kwafuneka kubekho umntu ozoncedisa apha endlini xa mna ndibhizi ngapha eshibhini so kufuneka kubekho umntu ozoncedisa apha ndincedisa nakuwashingi naxa kukho abantwana ancedisa so usukela kulo nyaka upheleyo esebenza apha so sisebenzisana kakuhle gqithi ukhuthele and ufriendly and uyakwazi uzi-entertain ii-customers zam. Ndiyamthanda ukhuthele and uyazimisela active kwimizi emininzi abantu akabikho abantu bancedisayo because umntu uyazenzela into umsebenzi wakwakhe like umntu ongumama unoxanduva lokuwenza laa msebenzi owenziwa imate so kuye kwanyanzeleka into yobana mna ndifune umntu because umsebenzi wam mnintsi kakhulu. Ya ibhetele iye iba bhetele intlalo yalapha siyakhula.
Since the shebeen has grown, there's more and more stabbing and things like that. They really go there to get drunk and then they fight with each other. At pension day, she sells a lot. And like over weekends, like this long weekends, they sell a lot. She does sometimes buy quite a lot of meat from me, but she doesn't have an account with me. They also run accounts. If they know that that person's getting a pension or is working somewhere, they run accounts for those people and then they collect the money on pension day. It's actually competition to me because she's taking money away where people should be buying food. A lot of these people go down there, but they know that they can't come here, you know. I just stay away from those places. So I feel as though I'm too old to get involved in any fighting and things like that. It's just that if I had to go there, I most probably would be threatened. Actually, to me, if they drink too much, it's very bad. It's nothing for them to pull out a knife and stab each other. A lot of crime happening there. We lock our gates at night so that they don't come into the yard. I hope that nobody ever comes to my house, especially now that I'm older. But anything is possible. The insurance people don't want to take a risk to insure us here. I don't even want to insure the goods in the shop. It just has to be my loss. But I've got an insurance on my life, got two actually, so that I don't leave my children in debt. I would try and be very alert and jump up and act to whatever is going to happen to me. I would defend myself because I act on instincts. At that moment, whatever happens to me, I think then what to do. Otherwise, I don't think about it beforehand. The unfortunate part with me at the moment, I'm almost like woman alone. When it gets too quiet in the shop, these things come back to me, and I prefer to be busy. I plan to go and buy things that I'm short of, to refill my shelves. What happened to me on Monday put me off a little bit. I wouldn't like whatever happened to me on Monday to be repeated again. I was on my way to Mthatha, went over the Mthatha bridge, changed into second, and the next minute a gun was held in front of me, tried to shoot me, and I swerved to the right. He shot 6 times at me. I just thought, it's you or me. And I went straight for him. And that's what saved me. And I drove out of that cutting as if the devil was behind me. It will be a long time, I think, to sort of get that out of my mind. I pray a lot. Dr. Chowdhury advised me to take it easy and to walk on the beach a lot with the sand on my feet. But I'm going to try and go for trauma treating. I feel as though everybody must work for their money.
Living here, we saw all the need in the community, and I got to know community, what that really means. And it today became one of the most important things in my life. Transkei, or this area, was always independent, but since 1994 it's become part of South Africa, and then the government had time to put in services like the schools and things like that. When we came in there was no HIV/AIDS medication available. So if someone was HIV positive, they died. And in 2003, a huge cholera epidemic broke out here. And me and Johanna had to drive people to hospital for about 2 weeks every single day, because if you get cholera, within 24 hours, you have to go on a drip and you get fine again. But if you don't do that, you die. So that was something that really had a big impact on me, on realizing how basic knowledge and basic services that's not in place can kill people, or if it's in place, you can save people. So anyway, we drove people to hospital, and then still many people in the community died. Because what happens in the winter time, there is very little rainfall, and the people's places where they get water for drinking kind of dries up, fountains dry up, and that is when cholera starts to breed. And then that initiated us starting to think, hey, now what if this happens every year? The people will die in the community. What can we do about it? So we've got 4 water tanks up there with the tap, where anybody in the community can get water. So now in the winter times when there's no water, there's hundreds of people, even from across the river, that come to fetch water there. But the main thing is this thing made us realize, hey, we can do something about big problems, you know, or actually it's small things, but it's killing people. And just by having basic services there, you can prevent that. And that was a successful thing. And then basically that initiated the whole Transcape idea. We use the soccer tournaments as one of the ways we draw people, especially to draw the young adult men to the awareness program and to get the message out there. With our HIV/AIDS program, the whole program grew from the people living with HIV/AIDS. It wasn't us trying to come up with a solution, this is how we're going to do it. It was the people that had the problem that came up with a solution. We just facilitated that and helped them to get funding and to make their plans action, so that they can address the problems. Yeah, you have to go with who's willing and grow and build on that. Because, what the hell can you do?
Okay.
I only have 2 sons. From the age of about 6, Hein started fishing.
Yeah.
Leon is in the Department of Education in planning schools and trying to get money from overseas to build schools. Schools in the Lallies. Government money plus overseas money. The budget has been cut in half. He has a very difficult job. Having my family around me is all I want.
Give you the head, Bessie. I'll give you the head.
No, thank you.
I'll give you the head.
No, thank you. Fine, you naughty.
What? What?
You naughty. I don't want that.
What? Excellent.
Masihlikeleni ngothina kumoya kuba abantu abazababa bengevapha. Yathanda yazi okwa.
Is that?
Namhlanje sifuna uhighlighta abahlali abantu bakuMankosi into bana yayo committee yodwa wonke umhlali walapha kuMankosi funeka ekhona apha entlanganisweni. Sifuna ubacacisela ke namomcimbi wemali ba imali lesiqokelelayo imalini ekhoyo ngoku eshekileyo imalini esele siyisebenzisile. Sihambe sayo maphi nomcimbi wokwenziwa ke clinic. Mna ndingunobhala wale committee yalapha kuMankosi.
Mahlangene nenkosi ezizonke. Mandithathe ithuba ndinibulise nonke kule ndawo. Ndibulele kuba laba kubahlali ngaphambili abasinikeza iliqonga. Andihambi ndodwa. Ndihamba nekomiti endihamba nayo.
Okay, asinayo ikliniki nalapha thina kuMankosi. Sixhomekeke entshilini. Entshilini kukude. And i-transport apha asinayo sixhomeke ebhasini. Ibhasi ihamba ekuseni nge-2:06. Because into eyenzeka ngoku so sisokolisa ooYohane phaya uba mabathathe abantu babase eCanzibe. Whereas uba besinekliniki besizawuthatha abantu sibase eklinikini yethu kunoba sibasokolise bona. Yebo, so kuyafuneka sinayo ikliniki apha. Ngokomo walapha abantu abangomama abazihambi intlanganiso. So bayonqena entlanganisweni eziphayana komkhulu. So isoloko uba ngabantu bangootata and ke ixesha elininzi kusoloko kuthetha abantu bangootata.
Ibe ngusibongile ngokwamasiso.
Asilingani.
Sizonikeza le xesha.
Like if into ndithethwa ndim ne emntwini ongutata ayingeni kakuhle kuye ingathi uyithatha lula yebona akayiconsiderisha uyithatha nje lula but afumanisa uba xa senzeka laa nto kuyithetha kube ungona iqonda into yobana oh hayi ubenyanisile singazama but ingathi yinto edaliweyo ngoba basoloko nje besithatha ingathi singabantu basegoqweni xa ukho idebate abantu bangootata xa uthetha wena kuthi hayi wena thula bopheke ekitchen bopheke yabo so iyawusoloko injalo sawusoloko nje besithatha lula kaloku ngokwesiko ngokwesithethe sethu thina abantu bamnyama ne
asiqokelela lapha kuMankosi
so thina abantu bangomama funeka uvuke ekuseni uhambe uyokha amanzi ubuye wenzele utatiti aphunge ahlambe ahambe kayitywaleni ke ayobuya late kube ezawubuya nempahla akanawusuka umuntu ongutata ahamba ukha amanzi athwale entloko uzawuhlekwa gqithi oba uhlazeka kwabanye abantu abangootata. Hayi sozitshintshe loo nto leyo
indawo sesikuyo
inoba yinto edaliweyo ayinawutshintsha
nala madoda akwa-Transcape la madoda akwa-Transcape
You know, that it's funny, I never feel as though that I'm old. Well, when I look at myself in a photo, I think, yeah, is this really me? And I can't believe it because I don't feel like that. I really don't feel like that. And when I'm in a car and I'm behind that wheel, I've got all the strength in the world. And I seem to get courage when I'm holding something. They want more tourists to come this way, for the people to generate more money into the area. But I'm not in favor of a hotel being built with liquor sales, because there is so much alcohol around here already, and it will be more fighting than ever. No toilets, no running water. That's where the big problem lies, is water and sewerage. And the drought is terrible. I don't know whether these people will be able to plant their mealies this year. Especially if it's a big family, it also affects them because they've got to haul out more money to buy maize. When they come and ask me for a donation, I give to them. For schools, like soccer, and then they come for a donation sometimes. And for the nomakayas, aid nurses. The younger generation are changing. I miss the old daughter. We were one big family. You didn't walk past each other whether you knew a person or not. You greeted that person. How are you? Fine, so forth. It's Africa time here. I've become very transparent like women. Your cash is kept in my bra, not in your handbag. I'm going to try and get better deals from the wholesalers. And I'm going whichever place gives me the offer. It is actually changing very much so. They're getting more westernized. It's very difficult. It's not only the people that I live with here that don't have jobs, it's whites as well. Poverty is one of the biggest things in South Africa at the moment, and crime is one of the highest. I think what will happen, a lot of the younger ones will be moving to town. The rondavels will become emptier and emptier. I think our future is almost like null.
People living here are choosing the Western way. They are busy losing their culture. It's not the same anymore because Western civilization is moving in and it's a dominant culture, and the people has to address that. the young guys don't work in the fields anymore. They don't care about cattle and sheep anymore. They are seeing the bright lights of Western civilization, but they don't understand that Western civilization, how that works. They can hardly read and write. They cannot speak English. If they go to a big city to get a job, they just get the one setback after the other, and they come back here and they feel hopeless, and they just start drinking, you know, because that makes them feel a bit better. I see us as playing a huge role in helping them understand that and to get a foot in there so that they can make informed choices about if they really want that, if they understand it, do they want it. You know, what if the people living here that hasn't got emails, they don't know how a computer works, they haven't got transport, if they want to do something, and, you know, if we are struggling so much, how is it in any way possible for the people living here to achieve anything? So that's even why I would like to be one of those Westerners that come from the bright lights, but that is showing them, I was there, but I choose the way you live, and it can help them to make their choice. I mean, on Earth today, about 20% of all people own 70% of all resources. These are the kind of things that I've become aware of here. It's out of the whole thing where you basically end up sitting in a job doing part of something for someone else who you maybe don't even know, and you don't even know what his motivations are for doing that and who he's doing in while he's doing that. So you all know that Department of Social Development has got a grant that's available to home-based care groups. Also the idea of us having the education, knowledge. I don't think knowledge is something that should be a value, you know, that you pay for. And that is something to share with people, and so that we can all live with more understanding and know how to do things. So even that, you know, where people with more education think they're more important or they're worth more, it doesn't make sense. Those people should instead be in service, and they should know it was a huge privilege that they had to have that knowledge. How few people end up in university today, and why? Because they were lucky to be born in a family that could give that to them. While most other people, 90% of people on Earth, couldn't even dream of that opportunity. Also, just the idea of the depth that of people understanding things. It's something we have to be very careful of, not to just say people are ignorant or stupid or this or that, but, when they never had the privileges that you had to have the exposure to television or computers or a good education. Everything else, people are in it for themselves, you know, and as soon as you try and do something that's really not for yourself but for the whole community, and you can be how sincere, people will look at you skeptically and think, hey, you know, what's the trick here? And yeah, it just takes years of commitment to create the trust and to break down that skepticism. Before we had this association to help us, you know, it was me and Johan that had to go to government and sit in meetings, and the government, they just think, who are these white ladies, you know, what do they want? They just want stuff for themselves. It almost feels sometimes as if you have to take more for yourself. you know, then people will think, no, okay, now it's realistic. You know, if you just say, no, you're not really interested, you just want the right thing to happen, people like, they don't trust it 100%. That whole era of the kings, and what was that? That was plain straight unfairness, where some people just based on their blood were made more important than other people, and they could own whatever they want and do whatever they want. And what happened? Their heads flew. You know, the people eventually said, And now the same thing is happening again, just in a other way with the economical system, where some people can do whatever they want because they've got so much money. And they can own what they want because they've got so much money. So I just want to tell those people, be careful.
Generating engxaki, so inobe ne-shorter nayo, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I think generator because ne-TV, ama-customer wamanye afuna umculo ixesha elininzi. Ne-phone ndiyazitshaja sapha kwi-generator, ifowuni yam nditshaja kwi-generator because andinayo umbane. So ndiyanida i-generator xa umbane ndingakwazi ufumana. So now apha kulawuzi umculo wawukho, iradio ayidlali, so bakhumbule ezaa ngoma bazicula xa bephaa ethontweni. Xa iklantukile ndisebenzisa le nto amakhandlela okanye iglasi. Umyeni wam uphangela esuka apha ezilalini yonke imihla. Ulala apha, avuke ekuseni ayemthatha, aphinde late abuye eze apha ekhaya. Eyona nto yayindibangela into yobana ndiqhubeleke ndenze le business is because ndinopheni. Because she's only turning 14 now, and lelona xesha akwi-stage eli, lelona xesha ndisokolisa ngalo eli. I wish naye upheni angayibona intlalo le ndihleliyo, ayibone into yobana no, umama yonke le nto beyenzela mna, azimisele phi esikolweni afunde. Ndithi noba ndiyabhubha ndiyafake nam kufika ixesha lobana ndife, abe yena efundile esendaweni, yabo. Angaphili le ntlalo ndiyiphilileyo, angayifilishi le pain ndiyifilishileyo mna. Ndiyenzela yena.
Florence, my neighbour. She's a Zion. And on a Sunday, they have church here. At 11 o'clock they start. The Dutch Reformed Church do it quite differently. There's a big difference.
Dit sal later bewolk wees langs die suidweskus met motreën teen vanaand en die wind langs die Weskaapse kus is vandag matig tot tamelik sterk suid, sal later suidoos draai. Dan na die Ooskaap toe die westelike dele. Eerstens is gedeeltelik bewolk en baie warm tot bloedig warm, maar koel langs die kus met die wind wat matig suidwes sal waai, sal later sterk waai. Oostelike dele van die Ooskaap is gedeeltelik bewolk en baie warm tot bloedig warm, maar koel langs die kus met enkele buie wat verwag word in die noordooste. Die wind langs die kus is matig suidwes. KwaZulu-Natal is mooi weer en baie warm tot bloedig warm in die middag, met die wind langs die kus wat matig tot tamelik sterk noordoos sal waai. Dan ons buurlande in Namibië gedeeltelik bewolk en baie warm tot bloedig warm, veral oor die suidelike binneland.
I thank God for keeping me alive. I thank God that I could avoid being shot at. I thank God that I can be with my children a bit longer. I thank God for the kids that I have and for the friends I have. I thank you, God, for everything that you do for me. Amen.
I want to live completely sustainable. I think that is ultimate freedom. If you can do that, you don't need money, you don't need anything. You just need a piece of land, and you've got your place, produce your own food, generate your own electricity, capture your water, and you're free. If you acknowledge the fact that people should be together and share what's on earth together, it's the truth to me. And to be able to live that truth is freedom. One of the kind of guidelines me and Johan use in living here to make sure we're not exploiting is in not growing above what the people here have. So in a way, if I want to start a family, one main concern is the education of my children, for instance. And because the schools here is not very good. But now, I've already started doing something about that in creating the education center, which is not only for my children, but it's already available for other people's children. And at least that is a starting point, and I definitely want a family, and I better start soon because I'm getting older. And I think that will even open my eyes so much more in understanding what the people living here is going through. Many times think about, if you start, am I not fooling myself, thinking I can live here sustainably, that old dream. Me and Johan think many times, if we should just disappear for a month, what will happen? Or for 6 months. And I can actually say at the moment, I think everything will go very well. If all the outsiders will go away suddenly. And it's just the mamas and Spongy and Nelly and Lusanda and Deka and so on left here. I think they can cope. On a kind of higher level is, would the people continue to want to own their resources and want to have businesses, products that they can have income, that they can have a better education? What would the people do how would it have been? Okay, now you can't ask that, because we've made the people aware of what their rights are and what's going on in Western civilization and more or less how that works. So we've given them more choices in a way, but if we would go away, what would they choose? Many times things just get too much. So many things to do, and sometimes you feel you are losing control and you are not effective enough, and you put this pressure on yourself, and then you just want to say, sometimes you just need a break, go on holiday and get perspective. I'm actually at that point at the moment, but I'm going on holiday next week, so I'm looking forward to that. Also something that people living here can't go on holiday, so that's a huge privilege. But yeah, you get frustrated.
I'm very cut off from the mainland. It gets lonely, but I've got used to it. I do have a lot of fun by sitting in the shop and talking to the people, because they would joke to me, all sorts of jokes. And then they'd call me ketlekas, which mean old woman. Then I'd tell them, I'm not an old woman. And they would laugh at that when I say that to them. And they say, yo, ketlekas, you've got amandla, which means you have got strength. The people around me, I think, love me. They're good to me. They see me as a friend and nothing more. I actually feel at home here because they are like friends to me. They are almost like a brother and a sister. That's why I don't feel as though I'm threatened at all. Both sides, we have respect for each other. We respect each other's privacy. And being accepted by the people makes me feel at home.
Linda was given the responsibility to be the carer of Tata Bota's children.
The people take her as a very important person. She's the sole breadwinner of the family. But Linda and what you call it work together. They try and share. I would do the same.
Bangabe utata besaphila ngoku nami ndihleli apha emzini nami ndinomzi wam inoba ngekunjani mhlawumbi sihleli sonke siyifemily njengolaa hlobo lakuqala uyabo kuvele kwavuleka igap enkulu emveni koba yena eswelekile ngoba ivele nje yayipain kum enkulu but ndiye ndazama uba ndinyamezele so ndiye ndaziva ndistrong ndikwazi uzimela ngoku on my own ndikwazi uba ndikhulise nabantwana basekhaya.
You can only, I think, live your life and try and show what you believe and do your best.
I actually feel at home here. I would be living at Chani until I can't live here anymore, to the end.